Yellowstone premiere quickly reveals fate of Kevin Costner's character. We let the cat out of the bag. This story contains major spoilers from the Yellowstone Season 5B premiere. Yellowstone returned with a big swing on Sunday night by giving viewers the answer they were hoping to get right out of the gate. How would the hit Western saga handle the exit of star Kevin Costner and the fate of his revered show patriarch John Dutton? Spoilers ahead. Taylor Sheridan, the writer and mastermind of the Yellowstoneverse, did something rather unexpected when he quickly revealed during the Season 5B premiere and return of TV's #1 show that John Dutton has indeed died. That fate was likely expected, given Costner's high profile and abrupt exit from the Paramount Network series between the first and second half of Season 5. But the fact that it was revealed so quickly was a surprise. Here's how it played out. Beth Dutton, Kelly Riley, and brother Case Dutton, Luke Grimes, arrive at John's governor's mansion, which is swarming with police, and eventually see for themselves that their larger-than-life father has taken his own life. Costner is never shown. Viewers see a limp body laying next to a gun, but the look on his children's faces says it all. They oscillate between guttural grief and blinding vengeance, before the show then flashes back to 6 weeks earlier and catches up with the majority of the ensemble. That includes Sarah Atwood, Dawn Olivieri, the fixer-girlfriend of estranged Dutton brother Jamie, Wes Bentley, who is revealed to have put the hit out on John following the explosive mid-season finale. She instructs her murderer-for-hire to make John's death appear to be a suicide. The episode ends with Beth vowing once again to kill Jamie, before she lets out an animalistic scream when reunited with her husband Rip, Cole Hauser, who has returned to the ranch following the news of John's death. By the episode's end, Costner is never shown. When speaking to executive producer Christina Voros, who directed the hour, it takes her a few attempts during our conversation below to adjust to being able to speak out loud, to someone outside the Yellowstone fold, about John Dutton's fate. In our previous conversation, she had detailed the top-secret protocols put in place in order to keep every twist and turn of these 6 episodes a surprise for fans until they air, weekly, Sundays at 8 p.m. on Paramount Network, followed by an encore at 10 p.m. on CBS. Voros, who helmed 4 of these 6 episodes, is among a small group who knows how everything plays out. She redacted scripts for the cast, only the main cast knows the ending. They filmed alternate scenes and used code words in scripts. It's so weird to talk about it all, because it has been so clandestine for so long, she now tells The Hollywood Reporter, revealing the codes for the John Dutton death scene. We didn't talk about it as a death. Anytime there is a death or some sort of event, we called it an arrival. And we gave John's character a pseudonym. We called him Crosby. We were calling the opening scene, Beth discovers that Crosby has arrived. It was on call sheets and the crew were like, "Who is Crosby? And where's he coming from?" I did some random research. John Schuyler. Crosby was the last governor of Montana before Montana was turned into a state in the 1880s. It was a very random, obscure, esoteric reference by Taylor Sheridan. As Voros settles in to unpack this first episode, which may or may not usher in the end of Yellowstone, a 6th season has been in talks since Season 5B was first announced to be the end of the flagship series. She applauds Sheridan for how he handled the fate of Costner's character after the behind-the-scenes saga around his role made headlines during the 18 months the series has been off the air. Costner eventually confirmed his exit over a scheduling dispute around his film saga Horizon, though he remains a credited executive producer, but his on-screen involvement has never been made clear, given that he was alive when viewers last saw him on the series. I think Taylor's decision to begin this way was incredibly brave, says Voros. I think it is testament to his faith in the characters and the actors who embody them to go, let's not make this about the incident. Let's make this about how these human beings exist in the aftermath. That was more interesting to Taylor than the incident itself. She continues, death and birth are the 2 constants in our human experience. They are the most pivotal moments in our lives, and yet they are the most pedestrian elements of being a human being. What's interesting about birth and death is not the birth and death itself, but the way it affects us as people. To me, I think that was the driving force in telling the story this way. He's asked, how does everybody else survive and what do they do? And that's where the mystery is. That is where the unraveling is. That is where the story is. Read on below to see what else Voros says about the shocking yet contemplative premiere, how John's death propels the story forward, and how the cast stepped up to shoulder the show's legacy, whether these episodes are really the end or not. Now that the Season 5B premiere is out, I can see what Taylor Sheridan has been saying all along. This is where he was going with the story, Things just got accelerated by Kevin Costner's exit. So going back, you have this fate you are going to hand John Dutton, but you don't have Costner, so you can't show him. Can you talk about the decision to open with the death, and then peel back to tell the story in flashbacks? I can't talk to the decision. It's Taylor's world. He made the bold decision. It's a tricky question, because I don't want to foreshadow anything that's coming. Because it has to do with the writing. It has to do with Taylor's choice to not only deal with this episode, but the entire season. I have a lot to say about it, but there's nothing interesting to say without talking to the greater choice as a whole of how the season is going to develop, and I don't want to tip our hats to any of that yet. The episode opens in the present, and then flashes back to 6 weeks before, which is around where the mid-season finale left off. Then the final scene returns viewers to the present timeline with the scene between Jamie Dutton, Bentley, and Sarah Olivieri after John's death. Will the season continue to tell the story in the flashback timeline? Taylor has always used flashbacks very powerfully in the show. He has always used flashbacks to give a deeper, more layered complexity to the narrative. Some people use flashbacks for exposition, and Taylor doesn't do that. He uses them to complicate things, not to explain them. And I think this season is an excellent example of the way he has used flashbacks as a storytelling device in Yellowstone from the beginning. It's actually a very organic way to move into this final chapter, because he has always used flashbacks as a way to bring the audience into the complexity of the storytelling, so there's something really interesting in the way we are bouncing back from past and present this season that makes the journey a lot more interesting and deeper. Opening with Beth Dutton, Riley, racing her car up to her father's governor's mansion sets the tone at an all-time high intensity. She knows something bad happened even before she knows what happened, so, clearly, a lot unfolds in these 6 weeks that we will find out about. When we last saw Beth and John. Hey friends, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like. Got a question, opinion, or suggestion? Drop a comment below. I read all of them, and I often feature interesting ones in my next videos. And most importantly, for more exclusive boxing highlights and celebrity news, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us grow and keep bringing you awesome content. See you in the next video. Stay safe and take care.